Hello everyone, welcome back to our tutorial for beginners part 2. In this video I will show how to use for loop and if-else condition in R. For the example that I will be showing here, have been following the code throughout this tutorial is the R beginner, r_beginner part2.r, which you can download from my GitHub page and which is also given in my video description. So in this code, I will show a very simple example of how you can use a loop. So when I say loop, that a simple way to say is basically iteration. You want to do something repeatedly. For example, and let me give a very example. You have 10 files. For example, in your computer, in a folder, you have 10 CSV files. What you want is you want to read a file and do some kind of manipulation on that. But you want to do that for all the files. So how you can do that? One of the ways is you do that iteratively, which in R you basically do it with a loop. And the loop which is frequently used is for loop. So you use for loop to do the same stuff on all the different files. So in this case, I will show you a very, very simple example where I will show you how you can read different files, like several files. In this case, there will be only 3 files, but it doesn't matter, you can have many files in your folder. So it reads files in a loop and do some kind of calculation or do something. And if it works as you want, then it does something, and if it does in a different way, do something else. What I mean by this, you also apply some kind of condition, which we will show in a minute. So let us set the working directory where the data is. So set working directory there. So if I go back to the folder where the working directory I set, it has three text files. For example, this looks like this. It had date, month, year, and location rainfall values. So after I list it, I set the working directory. I also want to see what are the files in the list. So I have to run this first. So the function list.files, what it does is it lists all the files in a folder. So what I want to list all the files in the folder with the extension of .txt. So I'm running it, and let's see what the file have. Press Ctrl and Enter. You see that it lists down three of the text files in the folder. You can also check the length, which is basically 3 in this case. So in this for loop, how it looks like, the syntax is you write the for, then put a bracket, and then put whatever variable you want, like for example ijk, whatever you want. What it does is when the first iteration occurs, then I equal to 1 in this case. When a second iteration occurs, y is equal to 2. In this case, what this line means is I want the loop to go from 1 to the length of the files. In this case, the length of the files is 3. So this will be a loop of 3. So the value of I in the first loop will be 1, second loop 2, and third loop will be 3. So to give an example, let me show you a very simple example. For example, I'm writing the code here, like for loop 1, I in 1 to length files, and then I'm saying print I. So you see that it's printing 1 to 3. What it means is it is looping 3 times. You can also, like, it can be many times. For example, I'm writing 10, 1 to 10, so print idle 10. It can be something else. So in this case, it's looping 3 times. So for example, assume that we are in the first loop. So let's assume that we are assuming I equal to 1. So when I equal to 1, let's run this code, this line. So what it does is it's saying that read the table or text file when files equal to files and bracket I. So when I is 1, files is d1txt. So it's saying that read the first element in the file list. So file, as I said, has 3 things. In this case, is reading the first one. And if there's any missing value, it's filling up that with NA. And there's a header in the text file. So it's reading it. So now it read the first value. Let's check it if I actually read it. df.tmp, so it's actually read the first text file. So the next thing I'm saying is if so what it does, first let me say what it does. It's saying that if the number of missing values is less than 9, less than equal to 9, then print this, like less than or equal to 9 missing values. If the, or then I'm putting else. Else means if this condition didn't satisfy, then else. What else? What else? Saying that more than 9 missing values. So whenever there is a missing value greater than 9, it's basically printing the second one. So this function is saying the length. So length of what? Length of is na df location b equal to true. So here in this example, basically what I'm doing is showing for location. Okay, so it shouldn't be location B actually, because each of the file have different names. So let me go to the file. So it has location B as a column name. It has location A as column names. It has location C as column names. So I cannot say in each loop, it has to see location B. It should rather be something more generic. For example, I want the fourth column. Instead of these, I want the fourth column. I want it to check the fourth column. That is more appropriate. So let's see how it works. So after run the code, it's saying that more than 9 missing values. Okay. So when I equal to 1, 2, 3. So it looks like in all the cases, there are more than 9 missing values. Interesting. Let's just see the original thing, the original data frame, which we have been working on. So df, for example, I equal to 1, and just read this line, and summary df.tmp. It sees, it looks like there are, so okay, this saying that more than 9 missing values, but it says that there is only 3 missing values, right? So it seems like there is something wrong here. So let us try to debug the problem. So to debug the problem, let us just go one by one. So I equal to 1, I equal to 1, as I said, read the data. So see that we're seeing the data, df.tmp. So it's location A. So in this line, it's saying that if the length of is na, so let's just print this line. Print this line, what it says. Okay, it's saying that, so somehow it's not doing the task correctly. It's actually saying 144, length of 144, but that doesn't make sense, because it's saying that when I write just run this specific line, what it means is when there is na, it will print true. When it is not na, it's will print false. What I wanted is it to calculate how many times is basically have nas, which is, we can clearly see that there's 1, 2, and 3, but it's showing a different thing. But in the previous case, we have seen that, for example, if I take location A, does it change anything? Let's try to see. No, it doesn't change. So one of the example is interesting why it's not actually doing the task. So another way what we can do here is, for example, let us see which. So in this case, I'm saying that which of them have n equal to true. So in this case, it's saying 3 of them. Then if I calculate the length is 3. So now this is appropriate. So I use these lines, so this function. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying which of them are NA and how many, what is the length of that. So now it should work. Now you see it said the first one less than equal to, basically all of them are basically less than equal to n, because less than equal to 9 number of NAs. So yeah, so this is something, let me run it again. So this is something I wanted to show you in this example. So another example of loop I just created here is what you do here is you do replace, you do something, some kind of printing in an iteration. Let's see what it does. Okay, the main thing I wanted to show here is the application of the function next. So what next does is, for example, you're doing a loop and under any condition, you don't want to do anything. You just want to go to the next loop. For example, in this case, what I'm doing is in the loop, if the length is less than equal to 9, in this case, I also have to correct this similar to the previous one. So it's 4. So let me see if it's okay. Okay, it was wrong before. So now you see the first one is correct. First one is less than equal to 9 missing value. Second one is more than 9. Interesting. So let's see. So the next code, the purpose of the next line, next example was to apply this next function. So the condition I was interested in, if the length is less than 9, then print this, and if it is, or else go to the next loop. So let's see how it looks like. So you see the iteration I equal to 1 something, I equal to 2 nothing, I equal to 3 something. So it means that whenever I equal to 2, the missing value is basically greater than 9, so it's doing nothing, right? So you see that I equal to 2 was before greater, like more than 9 missing values. So this is another example how you can actually skip a loop, which is also handy in many cases. So there's another function like called break function. So for example, I'm commenting this out, and you want to, whenever it have this condition like missing value greater than 10, and you want to stop the loop, so use break function. So if you run the code, you see it's just running the first iteration and not even going to the third, because the second one's saying break, because that actually comes under this else condition. So these are some really useful examples of loop and condition like if else that is like used a lot in many purposes. I hope it really helped you to really understand how you can use such kind of condition and loop. So thanks for watching. Hope it really helped you all.